Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Portrait drawing is more than just capturing a face. It's about bringing emotions to life on paper. In this video, I'll take you through my process of drawing portraits in my own style, where I focus on expressive details and deep rendering techniques. I love working with 6B or 8B pencils for their rich dark tones or micron pens for their precision and flexibility. Every stroke I make is a step towards creating a portrait that speaks. So let's dive in and explore how I bring emotions to life through my portraits. Now, I would like to talk about some things in art, about art, while I'm drawing. So, the first thing is why portraits matter in art. Portraits are one of the oldest and most studied forms of art. From ancient uh, sculptures to paintings, realism, and modern art. Capturing the human face has always been a fascination for artists. Now, you may ask why. Because faces tell stories, every wrinkle, every expression, every glance holds meaning. Artists are naturally drawn to portraits because they challenge them to capture not just likeness but emotions, personalities, and even the soul of the subject. It's an endless journey of understanding human nature and expression. Now, the next part is why do more people practice portraits? When learning to draw, many artists start with portraits. The human face is complex yet familiar. It's something we see every day. Studying portraits improves an artist's ability to observe, interpret, and translate details onto paper. It also strengthens skills in shading, rendering, proportions, and composition. Now, the question here is why aren't many girls in portraiture? Historically, fewer women were encouraged to pursue art professionally. Female artists had limited opportunities and were often restricted to certain subjects. Today things are changing, but there's a gap in representation. More girls should approach portraiture not just as a study of faces, but as a form of self expression and storytelling. Every artist brings a unique perspective, and more diverse voices make art richer. Understanding the human face is about things which we don't usually notice about a common subject. A portrait isn't just about eyes, nose, and lips, it's about structure, form, and movement. Learning how light falls on the face, how muscles shift with emotions, and how every person has a unique proportion helps artists create more powerful artwork. Once you understand the human face, you can create characters, emotions, and even exaggerations in art styles like caricature or animation. Now, why art is important in life? Art is everywhere. It shapes culture, influences emotions, and preserves history. It helps us understand different perspectives and brings people together. Whether through painting, sketching, or digital art, it's a form of communication. Art history and its importance. Art history teaches us how different movements from Renaissance, realism, to modern abstraction shaped the world. Studying the past helps artists innovate and find their own styles. Knowing what came before gives deeper meaning to what we create today. How I make my portraits look realistic. I focus on strong rendering. I love working with dark pencils like 6B or 8B or 10B to build depth. Micron pens help with precision and fine details, and frankly speaking, I just love the way it looks. I also focus on observing light and shadow. I pay close attention to where light falls and how shadows define the form. Also, layering and blending is important. Smooth transitions make portraits look more realistic. I take time building up layers rather than rushing details. Studying expressions. A portrait without emotion is lifeless. I try to capture subtle expressions that make a face feel alive. Why I do it every day, even when it's hard. Drawing portraits is challenging. Some days proportions feel off or rendering doesn't look right. But I do it every day because consistency is key. The more I practice, the more I understand faces and emotions. Every sketch teaches me something new. These sketches feel special the moment I see the reference photos. I just draw. Sometimes when my mind is cluttered, I just pick up my sketchbook and draw. No rules, no expectations, just pure instinct. I even scribble in between lectures and during breaks. My sketchbook is always with me. It's like a friend I never want to be without. And if I forget it somewhere, I just get a new one. It's like having junk food. Sketching isn't just a skill, it's an experience. It's like keeping a diary, but instead of words, you capture your moments with lines and shapes. Every time I open my sketchbook, it feels like I'm reliving those moments, those places I've been. That's why I recommend sketchbooks to everyone, students, artists, even my friends and family. It changes how you see the world. But I've noticed that many students don't sketch at all. They see it as an assignment, something they have to do. But the truth is, if you sketch consistently, hundreds of sketches, no one will have to tell you to do it. It becomes effortless. It's not a job, not a task, it's just an instinct. And that's when it stops feeling like work and starts feeling like a part of you. Now, sketching can help you in many ways in life. It can be as a language of observation. Sketching trains your eyes to see beyond the surface. Most people pass by objects, faces, and nature without truly looking at them. But when you start sketching, you begin noticing details: how light falls on a person's face, how the folds of fabric create rhythm, how perspective changes when you shift your viewpoint. It's not just about drawing what you see, it's about understanding what you see. Your brain processes information differently when you sketch, sharpening your visual perception and memory. Sketching as meditation, clearing the mind. When you feel overwhelmed with thoughts, sketching can ground you. The act of making marks on paper is deeply meditative. It silences the unnecessary noise in your mind and helps you focus. Many artists sketch not just to practice but to feel calm. It's an escape from the digital world, a way to slow down and be present. The paper doesn't judge you, and there are no rules. You're free to create. Sketching as a diary, capturing your life. Sketchbooks are like visual diaries. Unlike photographs, sketches hold emotions, thoughts, and experiences in a deeply personal way. When you revisit old sketches, you don't see an image. You remember the moment, the feeling, the atmosphere. Many artists keep sketchbooks for different reasons. Travel sketchbooks to capture places and experiences. Daily life sketches to document ordinary yet meaningful moments. Idea sketches to brainstorm and develop concepts for bigger artworks. Sketching as a skill builder, the foundation of all art. Every great artist, animator, designer, or architect has spent years sketching. It's the backbone of visual art. When you sketch regularly, you develop better proportions and anatomy, stronger understanding of light and shadow, confidence in line work, and a personal style. Why students avoid sketching and why they shouldn't. Many students dislike sketching because they see it as work rather than a natural process. Some believe they need to make perfect drawings every time, which stops them from even starting. But the truth is, sketching is not about making perfect drawings. It's about practicing, exploring, and enjoying the process. The more you do it, the more effortless it becomes. Sketching versus finished artwork. Why process matters more than outcome. Many artists hesitate to sketch because they feel their drawings aren't good enough. But sketching isn't about perfection, it's about exploration. A sketch is like a conversation with yourself. It's where ideas are born, mistakes are made, and skills develop. If you compare sketching to writing, it's like journaling. You don't edit every sentence, you just write. Artists like Leonardo da Vinci filled notebooks with endless sketches, studies, and scribbled thoughts. His finished masterpieces wouldn't have been possible without those raw, imperfect explorations. How to make sketching a habit. If you want to start sketching but struggle with consistency, try this. Always carry a sketchbook. The easier it is to access, the more likely you are to use it. Set a time limit. Sketch for just 5 to 10 minutes daily. Even quick scribbles count. Sketch anywhere, anything. Don't wait for a perfect subject. Sketch people, objects, buildings, whatever is around you. Forget perfection. Focus on the process, not the outcome. Let go of the fear of making bad drawings. Experiment. Use different tools, pencils, pens, markers to keep things interesting. Sketching changes the way you see the world. Sketching isn't just about drawing, it's about seeing. It sharpens your perception, deepens your understanding, and connects you to the world in a unique way. The more you sketch, the more you appreciate details you never noticed before. The way shadows stretch in the afternoon, the slight tilt of a person's smile, the textures of everyday objects. It's not just an artistic practice, it's a way of experiencing life more fully. And that's why everyone, whether an artist or not, should try it. Now I want you to take a moment to enjoy some quiet sketching with me. For the next 5 minutes, grab your sketchbook and a pencil. Don't overthink it. Just draw whatever is in front of you. It could be your coffee cup, a book, your hand, or even the shadows on the wall. Just let your pencil move and enjoy the process. No rules, no pressure, just you and your sketch.